Okay guys, I'm going to do a video here on how to do in-flight adjustments to your PIDs using the Turnigy Evolution radio. Joshua Bardwell did a video on how to do this with his Taranis, and I just wanted to show you guys, they're flying the Evolution, how you can do something pretty much the same way with the limited switches of the Evolution. It's the same setup, but I'm going to do it for this radio. I'm going to put a link in the description below to his video, as well as a little card here if you guys want to watch his first to get an idea of the technical ideas behind what's going on, because I'm not going to cover that because he's already done that. I'm just going to show you how to do the setup so that you can do the same thing that he did with his Taranis on this radio. So I'm using my JGRC P200 here. Got a Fly Sky receiver on there and got this all bound up. And the thing that you got to understand is how to set up the auxiliary channels for in clean flight, or actually in beta flight. This is actually beta flight, so that you can do this setup. So there's actually 3 auxiliary channels that are needed. You need one for arming. That's not necessarily you need it, but I actually need it. That's what I have set up. So on this center switch here, switch A, this is I use that for auxiliary 1 for arming, and then on the back, this is switch B and switch C. These are 2 3-position switches, and I have these both set up as a mixed switch in the auxiliary channel setup, and I'll show you how I did that, so that I can get 9 PWM values in beta flight for each position of the switch. So for example, and this is the reason you want 9 is you want to be able to tune the roll, the pitch, and the yaw, and you want to, for each of those, you want to be able to tune the P, I, and D. So what I've done is the up position for switch B is going to be for roll, and the middle position is going to be for pitch, and the down position is going to be for yaw. And then over on the right hand side here, or actually over on your left hand side of the video, the up position for this switch is going to be for tuning P, the middle is going to be for D, or I'm sorry, middle is for I, and the bottom is for D. So I'll show you how this is going to show up in beta flight in a second. But in order to get 9 PWM values, you have to go into your setup, and under auxiliary channels, channel 5 is going to be switch A, that's auxiliary 1. And then channel 6 here is going to be this thing called switch BC. So you're actually using 2 switches to control 1 channel. And let me go in here and click that. So you can choose for auxiliary, I'm sorry, for channel 6, you can choose either one of the 3 switches, or you can choose switch BC, which is what you should select. That allows you to use both these switches in the back for 1 auxiliary channel. And this is going to be auxiliary 2. And then for channel 7, this is auxiliary 3. I'm going to be using the variable dial here, pop that out, to actually make the adjustments. So right now it's centered. When it's centered, it doesn't do anything. And if you move it to one direction or the other, it'll either increase or decrease the value for the particular thing that you want to change. So if I want to change, right now they're both in the up position here, in these 2 switches, it's going to be roll on this side and P. Then whatever adjustment I make with this dial will increase roll P. And if I want to do roll I just move this switch over here on this side to the middle position, and then that will give me I. So let me show you what's going on in beta flight when I make those changes in the switches. Get out of here. Okay. We'll connect to the flight controller, and we'll go to our receiver tab. I'm sorry, we'll go to our adjustments tab, and can see here, I've got on auxiliary 2 for all of these. I've got 9 different things I want to adjust, and they're going to be in this drop-down menu here. And I just picked for the first 3, roll P, roll I, roll D, and then you're going to make those adjustments via auxiliary 3, which is the variable dial. And so you can see here, right now it's on the PWM value is right here is 1000, so it's on roll P. If I want to move it over to here, I've already done this, and actually you don't actually have to recreate this. I'll dump the all the CLI code that you need to paste into your CLI to recreate this. You don't have to actually do this. You'll just copy paste it, and then it'll recreate this for you in your Beautifly configurator. But if I want to go to I just move this switch to the middle position right here, and then as you can see, it changed the PWM value to 1200, and then now allow me to adjust roll I, and then move the switch to the bottom position, and now it goes to 1400, and then that will allow me to adjust roll D. And so if I want to go to the next one, which is pitch, I'll move this to the middle position, and then this is now in pitch P, so I can now adjust pitch P on this setting here. So you have 9 of these over here, and then you have 9 over here in your configurator, and then all the adjustments are made with this dial. So let me show you what happens when you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to roll P, and then we'll go over to our PID tuning tab, and you can see the values that are in here right now. 65 for roll P. If I turn the dial, well, currently I have it set for, I think it's counterclockwise. It'll increase the value, and then you'll hear beeping from the quad as those values are changing. If you have a buzzer on your quad, it's probably easier because then you can kind of tell what's going on, that things are being changed. Now, there's also lights that'll be flashing as well. So you can also, if you have access to lights, you can see that. But you can also just do it based on like how many seconds you have it in a certain position. So you have to, there's some play here in the middle where nothing happens. Oops, yeah, that's touchscreen. There's some play here in the middle where nothing happens. But if you move over to like a certain position, I'll just keep turning it, and then you'll start hearing beeping from the quad. Hear that? So there was like 5 beeps there, and I to stop the changes, you just recenter the dial. And then if we go to the configurator and hit refresh, we can see that the P now went from 65 to 69. You see it there. So for me, that's how I set up my channel. If you want it to go the other way, you can reverse that channel in your radio to if you want to change the direction of the way the dial works. So I have it set to counterclockwise for increasing and clockwise for decreasing. You can just reverse the channel if you don't like that. So if I want to go back down, I just turn the dial the other way. So I heard 5 beeps there, and it should take me back to about 65. So I'll hit refresh again. So I'm at 64. So you have to sort of, it's not going to be an exact, you're not going to know, like in an OSD, you can set the exact number. But you can have an idea about how many clicks you're going to get and how far it's going to come down. So I wanted about 4 or 5. That's about how much it went down. So having a little beeper there will tell you about how many the value is going down. So let me just do another example. Let's go to, show you the little switches here. So I'll go to, let's say, go onto the pitch axis. So we'll go pitch, and we'll change the pitch I value. So they're both in the middle position, and I'll increase the pitch I. So that beeped about 6 times, and hit refresh. So now that increased it to 53. So I thought it would go a little bit more. It's not quite as much as I thought it would be. So it's kind of hit and miss as to the extent the value increases. So you should be aware of that. But you know, it's going to be all based on feel. So you're going to, for me at least, I'm going to land and then make these changes. You can actually do this while you're flying if you're a good enough pilot. You can just level the quad out, make these adjustments, and then keep on flying, and then you can get a sense for how the thing, how it feels in flight. Some people are probably really good and can do that. And I can't do that. I have to land. So I'll land and I'll make some changes, and then take off again. See how it feels. So now I'm up to 55 on the pitch I, which is fine. I'll leave it there. Anyway, so this is how you can make these in-flight adjustments to your PIDs using your Turnigy Evolution radio. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below, and I'll try and help you guys out. This is really a much better way of making your PID adjustments instead of having to constantly plug in the USB cable into your laptop and make the adjustments and then go fly. It's actually much faster. Just do it through your transmitter. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.